about things just like you guys do. I have some expertise about some things just like you do, Ryan. I mean, he's going to teach me as much as I'm ever going to teach him. And vice versa. Byron's going to teach me more than I could ever teach him. We're just all different, right? But we're in this to learn together. So what I love about Rain and what I love about these products is you've got the best products out there that can clean the body out and then provide the nutrients, best leadership, and best sales distribution team out there to get out there and do it. So I'm very, very excited about that, and very excited about the fact that you guys are going to have all of these research articles that you can read. And we have a system we're putting in place, and I think I talked about this last night. We are uploading this week, or it may end up going into next week because of what's going on this week. Dan's going to be loading the side effect profile. So if you guys have a customer or you have an issue that you're seeing like a side effect with a product, we're going to be tracking that too. We have an approved patient registry that was actually approved a couple of years ago through WIRB. It's a national approved registry. If you guys go to clinicaltrials.gov, you'll see it on there. If it's not on there, let me know. It means I need to update it with the system. It's called a multi-disease state retrospective registry, where we can look at anything that has to do with pain or a disease in this country. And all we have to do is get surveys out to patients or to doctors. We already have approval in a couple of the countries from doctors that are willing to give us the data. And then here, what we're going to be doing is posting surveys, because you actually don't have to be a patient, you just have to be a consumer of a product. And since I'm the principal investigator, it can always go under me if we didn't have a doctor that was treating a patient. So anyway, that's another great thing that we're doing when we're looking at the seeds. So, Department of Clinical Science, again, we're here to talk about seeds, but the only way we can gather the data and get this information out to you is through the proper format. So again, what the leadership team of RAIN decided to do, and again, I want to commend them for this, they put their financial resources into a department that is being set up exactly like a pharmaceutical or biotech department. That way, if anyone ever came in, it has the standard operating procedures, it's following the same guidelines, it's following the same rules. Now, sometimes what that means is that we will be having roundtable discussions with doctors where sales will not be in those meetings. The executive team can be in the meetings. They will be able to disseminate that in certain pathways through what are called white paper submissions to, or medical marketing to the field. But it has to be that way, because in order to truly get all the information out, the pharma guidelines in this country and the FDA guidelines are this. Sometimes it has to be a scientific discussion. If sales is there, then it's for a sales reason and not for a science reason. So there will be some discussions that will be in a roundtable and a closed door discussion, but then we will be submitting reports. But a lot of this information will be readily available to the field right away. And again, it's not in an attempt to have a secret, it's in an attempt to follow all guidelines and then to disseminate the information. We will be following all legal guidelines. That's why when you guys hear me say I'm not making a claim, or you hear me say it's the product literature, it's because I am being very, very careful to give you the information, but make sure that I'm following all the appropriate guidelines and discussion points. And I gotta tell you what's great about it. Once you guys have the articles, when something's published, that means you're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
It's public knowledge,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can't tell a person in this country, well, here's a published paper, and they're not allowed to use it. It's on NIH's website and PubMed's website so that everyone knows. Now, then your question, or you're probably thinking, then why isn't it out there? But no one's paying for it to be out there. Like if you have an article that's saying that black cumin seed protects the cells and causes cancer cell death, who's paying for that information to be out there? And that's, it's not, they're not hiding it, it's just that it's not being disseminated, but you guys will be able to have it.
That's so awesome.
As individual distributors, we can cite PubMed articles in our PowerPoints, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely. It's public knowledge. That's why when I go, I've worked with IRBs, and that's why I always tell people, in complete disclosure, I've been a research scientist, but I've also been in business, because the only way to change healthcare is to understand business. I always tell people I'm the best resource to a sales and marketing team. I am not a great CEO. I've tried that. I did learn a lot, but my passion is the science. And what I love is giving people the tools to change their lives and others so that we can all have the best life we can have. But absolutely, that's a great question. Once it's published and it went through the appropriate channels, if it's on NIH's site and you guys get it in your hands, you can do whatever you want with it.
I just cite PubMed.gov, so I give the quote, cite it, put the link to the article.
Yeah. I have some, I would fill up slide after slide and you guys would be like, Christina, I don't even want to look at this. There's so much data. At first I found 950 articles, then I found 10,000, now it's over 30,000. There's so much information on the ingredients. I could talk, like if Byron said to me, Christina, I want you to talk for an hour about spirulina seeds. I would talk for an hour and I would be very excited about it, because but he didn't give me an hour to talk about spirulina. I drank spirulina shakes morning, noon, and night when I had the brain tumor. I made them, they were horrible. That's when people say, including, I'm one of these people that said, it took me a while to get used to core. Now I freak out when I don't have core. I texted Ryan this morning. I don't have a packet of core and salt. I came here, he was like, I gave it to someone else. I said, oh no, I have to have it before I go on stage. Because now I notice such a huge difference, and my body's toxic. I'm a person that is readily receptive to cancer. So I've had a lot of cancer. If you look at my face, if you ever close up, you'll see a scar above my eye. You'll see a scar on my mouth. I had mole surgery. I've had cancer on my back. I've had cancer. But guess what? Now when I have stuff on, I actually had spots all over. I put corn salt. That's just me, what I do personally, and it's gotten rid of a lot of the things on my face. If you ask why, it kills cancer cells. And if you ask me why I did it, all you need to do when all of this gets uploaded is go on to the SAB Seed Science and type in skin cancer and type in black cumin and see what you have that's produced. Type in skin cancer and type in black raspberry and you'll see the articles. Type in, I'm going to go on and on, skin cancer, spirulina, you'll see the articles. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. Do you know one of the universities that has done a lot of research on all of this is Vanderbilt? Again, your comment is, well, why haven't they produced it? They have. They went to the society meetings. It's just that once they produce it, that research isn't funding Vanderbilt. Do you know what I mean? The doctors care, they're producing it, but it's getting the information out there, which is why you guys are so key to this, because I'm never going to be able to touch the people you can touch. It would be arrogant for me to even think I could. I will be able to communicate with certain people. I'm not in your area. You guys can get the information out to them. And I love joking about things, and I meant what I said. You can't redecorate a home unless you clean the home first, right? I mean, would you redecorate a home?
Oh, heck no.
Unless you got rid of all the bad stuff. So, you know, I love that thought process, but it's really actually a lot more serious than that. It's a lot more serious. You need to reverse the signs of aging so that your cells are not necrosing or necrotic, and what that means is slowly withering away and dying. And I love what Byron said. He takes the apple, he takes the peel, it's going to start rotting, right? Inside, the apple's going to start rotting. But that seed's still there. And guess what? You go buy the seeds at the store, you know, the plant, they're still good, right? That's because they're not rotting, because they're compressed. And the mechanism of action of those seeds are still in there. They're ready to grow and to bring life. And guess what? You can plant those seeds in the ground and they will produce life. or you can plant those seeds in your body and they're going to produce life in your cells. You're going to grow something healthy in your body instead of something sick. So I am not sitting up here and saying these seeds will get rid of all types of cancer. I am not, people die. We all know that. But what I am saying is if you want a shot at producing the best components in your body, and if you want your cells to be communicating that they want to live in a good neighborhood in your city and they don't want gang members in, then provide your cells with the tools they need. They need these seeds. They need these ingredients in the most compressed format and the best kind of delivery mechanism that is produced, and that's seed science. And there's intellectual property behind that Rain is working on as far as making sure that it's theirs and no one else's, so there's some things that we can't get into. But I'm just telling you, as far as mechanism of action, you have all these different companies talking about different things that can happen and different things that are produced. But if you really look at seed science, you will see that this is a very important factor in what is being produced in our ground, but also what can be produced in our bodies. And no one has done what Rain is doing to document that. You can Google seed scientific advisory boards, seed departments, and you're going to find departments at universities that are dedicated to seed science, but it's all around agriculture. So I understand agriculture, I grew up on a farm, but the reason scientists haven't spent a lot of time on this is because this wasn't something that like in medical school or in a PhD program that you spend a lot of time learning, right? You understand as a scientist about seed technology, but there hasn't been a lot of articles produced or documentation around it, but that's changing, and that will dramatically change because of Rain.
I love it.
Yeah, you know. You know what I love? I love having something no one else has. I know that's horrible to say, but I love having something that no one else has, but sharing it to so that things can be better. And Rain has that. It's going to change dramatically. It's going to be a huge company because the science is behind it, the leadership is behind it, you guys are behind it. It won't be without the right distribution teams out there. It has to have it. I tell you what, I had, again, a luxury of working with some of these top biotech and pharma companies, and you can't have good research, you can't have good science, you can't have the scientific advisory board. This stuff costs money. You have to have sales and distribution and funding and people that bring that to life. So if you ever think like a scientist or a doctor is better or knows more, that's not true. You have no funding behind the science without sales. You have to have sales of a product, or guess what happens if you don't? That information stays on PubMed and NIH and no one has it. No one knows. Companies will keep producing cures that cost $400,000 and $800,000, and I don't blame them, they need to, right? But what if you didn't need quite so many products that cost $400,000 or $800,000? Or what if you had to be under radiation, but you knew that you had a secret weapon, which was core and soul, that would come in and protect those cells? Now, if you ask a doctor, can I take nutraceuticals while I'm on chemotherapy and radiation? The training, just so you guys know, because I spent a lot of time in oncology, in the oncology space. And Jen Cather, who you guys will get to hear from, very dear friend of mine. I've worked with her for, I don't know, 16 years in research. Jen actually has a fellowship in cancer. And I think the company knows that. Did you guys know that? So Jen Cather is a dermatologist, immunologist, but she has a fellowship in cancer. So if you ask, our training is don't feed the cancer cell, just have them do the chemotherapy and radiation. And because we're not trained on the nutraceuticals and stuff like that, and there's no way to get that training out there in a day. I mean, it's going to take us time. The answer usually is don't take anything, just stay on the chemotherapy and radiation. My father had stage 4 head, neck, and throat cancer, and I think I've told some of you this. He takes core and soul, a packet in the morning and night, and a packet in the evening. I'm sorry, a packet of each in the morning and a packet in the evening. So again, why I want to show you some of the data just really quick because I think I'm past my time. Okay. Sol's key ingredients, the data that you guys are going to find, it provides your essential minerals, vitamins, nutrients, omegas, fatty acids. So I'm going to ask you a question. If you're sick, what do you want to put in your body? What do you want to eat? I mean, I unfortunately, I'm one of those people that if it wasn't for the fact that I wanted to be healthy, I would eat bread and cheese and chocolate. And I keep telling myself that I deserve it. Like don't I deserve it? And then I'm struggling a little bit lately because I'm thinking, well, I'm taking corn salt, so maybe it's getting recovered.
I do the same.
Do not do that because that's not what I'm supposed to do. But you know, I can tell you at the very least, you and your family, they need to be on all the nutrients and fatty acids and vitamins and minerals that they can be on. You know, something I found that I did not know is black raspberry and black cumin seed actually fight parasites and fungus as well. So there is a case on liver parasites where they had eggs in the liver, and they had larvae in the liver, and worms coming out of the liver. And in the study, it caused liver cancer. And when they were on high doses of the black cumin seed, the eggs died, the larvae died, and the articles back there, and the worms died. Wow. Yeah, it's kind of cool, I thought. Yeah. And actually, when I got back from Asia, I was like really taking a lot of the power. Against Asia. I was just being exposed to different things, and I thought, I'm just going to take a lot of this. Yeah. So, and you guys know this, one of the biggest things with the ingredients, spirulina, chlorella, dandelion, milk thistle, all of these, by the way, are in core along with the black cumin. Kale. They actually have so many anti-inflammatory effects. They help cardiovascular, and another thing I love that I've noticed a huge difference in, they help with neurotransmission. There's a slide on here, and I don't want to get too much into it, but they do brain functioning. So they cause the dopamine and the serotonin in the brain to actually communicate in a healthy format and a healthy pattern, which is another thing that I love, because when people say that mental health doesn't matter, that is absolutely not true. It matters. Quality of life matters. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Again, this goes back to health. You can have a Lamborghini, but if you feel like, look, Versace, all these people who commit suicide or there's homicide, they're miserable. And when someone tells you that's their fault, that's their issue, I'm here to tell you guys, that's not always true. In fact, a lot of times it isn't true. Their brains are toxic. The transmitters are not communicating right. They do not want to get out of bed. Guess why? Their cells are sick. The brain chemicals in the brain are not working right. The products that are in Core and Sol are cleaning out the brain functioning. And there's, again, a lot of studies that show the products and ingredients in Core and Sol are doing that. And I don't know how many of you guys have taken, by the way, both products? Oh. How many of you guys have noticed a difference in how you feel? I don't know if I've actually ever been depressed, because I don't think I had that option. I have 4 kids, and I think I did have the option, but I think I just, you know, I don't know, you just get up and you do whatever. But I can tell you right now, I noticed a huge difference in my energy level and in how I felt, which is why I made Ryan. Because I know it's dose dependent and steady state, and I know all that. I'm like, no, I have to have that. Because if you ask me, and we don't have all the conclusive data, if you ask me how long I think from all the articles I've read, it takes this to get into my body, and for me to feel it, I think it's about 30 minutes. So I was trying to get him, you know, like he's a drug dealer, only he's not a drug dealer. He's a seed dealer. He's a seed dealer. So I was trying to like guilt him into getting it for me. So here's another article which just talks about asthma. Here's patents. And I can tell you guys there's reasons to file patents and reasons not to file patents. Rain and their attorneys are working on the best way to make sure that this technology is locked down, and I can tell you my dedication to this company will be that it is, and to the leadership of this company. They deserve to be always recognized for what they've done. They are pioneers in this field, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them. So I have a lot of loyalty.
Wow.
I'm pretty loyal to a fault, so. Anyway, I don't know if you can be loyal to a fault, but the D-ribose, I do want to touch upon this really quick with you guys. D-ribose is like a savings account. It goes into your cells and it stores the energy. So it's like saying, do you want a checking account or a savings account? Because like caffeine gives you energy, right? If you take Sol, the reason you're feeling that energy and it's not immediate, you don't have a rush, but it's kind of, it's like steady state, is because it has D-ribose in that particular type of cancer, sugar. There's a lot of debate on that, but I can tell you the pros for that are much greater than any kind of con, because the pros to that are you create an energy source that helps with muscle stamina. So like if you're feeling like achy, or you have muscle cramps, or you suffer from fatigue, stress disorder, thyroid, and we talked about that, thyroid, I'm trying to think of a number of things.
Your legs get really weak, like just walking up the stairs is like an effort, seriously.
That's why when you're taking Sol, you're feeling amazing. And I don't know what the history will hold for different products down the line, because I know the leadership team and we're all discussing that, but there may in the future be other products that are produced very similar to Sol. The company's trying to make different decisions on that, and they will make the best decision for the most people and for the company. But I will tell you, D-ribose, the reason it was put on that product was because you had cancer patients that didn't want to eat, they weren't thriving, they needed energy, they didn't even want to get out of bed. So this is something that absolutely helps with all those different things. And then I'm going to run through this really quick. Milk thistle, again, Hep B, Hep C, liver. I even found an article with milk thistle that had to do with HIV. I think of milk thistle as a weapon that has prongs all around it, kind of like a burr, or how do I say that? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It goes in and it pulls everything out. It's really good at that. Really good at detoxing, really good at helping your organs. It causes programmed cell death too. Can you imagine taking all these ingredients on a daily basis that's causing your cancer cells to die? I just think it's amazing. Like for me, it's a gift. It's a gift that I was exposed to this company, and that I get the opportunity to hopefully be able to talk to even more people, that we can help more people. But cranberry seed, another extremely powerful seed that who's ever had a kidney stone or not to get too personal, but any kind of UT infection, any kind of bladder, any kind of issue, I'm sure you guys know that cranberry seed is very good. But if you look at core in the cranberry seed, again, it's most potent. So if you were having kidney stones and things like that, because I've had people ask with GI problems and kidney and liver problems, should I take these products? And I want so badly to say from a personal and from an educated viewpoint, why wouldn't you? But I do understand that doctors have specific regimens, so again, it has to go back to the doctor. But I am going to let you know, your nervous system, the skin, the organs, cranberry seed protects it. So, and again, you guys will have access to these articles. This slide goes over superfoods and other key ingredients that are in core. I again can't stress enough how much it promotes healthy cells, and it cleans and it detoxes. The mechanism of action of that is because the ingredients and the vitamins and minerals that are packed into that seed are going into the cell, cleaning it out, and you get a new room or a new house without having to pay for one. So, anti-inflammatory. You guys do you guys know why anti-inflammatory is so important? Okay, because all of these diseases, multiple sclerosis, seizures, cancer, Parkinson's, Alzheimer. It's a cascade of inflammation. Again, they're talking, and they unlock something, and they all are inflamed. You got to turn it off, and that's what core does. Core's turning it off, and then think about it this way: soul's turning it on. They're turning on a beautiful cell, and that can happen. And I had someone say to me, "Can you actually change a cell?" Yeah, you can change a cell. That's like saying, "Can you become a better person today? Can you work at having a better personality?" Yes, your cells can regenerate. That's why Time Magazine came out with an article, and I don't know if you guys saw it. It had a baby on the cover. It said the new age, 120 to 130 years old. Because we know now as scientists that you can live to be that long, but not if you're toxic. If you want to talk anti-aging, inside and outside your body, you've got to clean it out and then put the nutrients in. And that's what you're doing when you're taking these packets every day. And that's the gift you're giving your family and friends when you share the knowledge. And I guarantee you, you guys can share it a lot better than me because you know the people, you know your audience, and you guys have incredible messages. And I hope to continue this journey with you on the science side. I'm very thankful to have met you all, and I hope that we get to work again more together.